chairs a high-level meeting to review ramping up of oxygen supply across the country. More than 1,500 PSA oxygen plants coming up. Plants contributed by PM CARES to support more than 4 lakh oxygenated beds. Ministers take charge after the recent cabinet reshuffle. Dharmendra Pradhan takes charge as Minister of Education. Mansukh Mandavia assumes office as Minister of Chemical Fertilizers. Kaushal Kishore takes charge in the Ministry of Housing and Urban Affairs, and Jyotiraditya Scindia assumes charge of Civil Aviation Minister. Government cautions against crowding at tourist spots, says we are still dealing with second wave of COVID-19. We cannot lower our guards, urges pregnant women to get vaccinated according to government guidelines on vaccination. India's COVID-19 vaccination coverage reaches nearly 37 crore mark. 36.89 lakh vaccine doses administered so far. More than 38.18 crore vaccine doses provided to states and union territories by the centre. Chief Election Commissioner Sushil Chandra briefs media about the delimitation exercise in Jammu and Kashmir, assures that the exercise will be fair and transparent, says the Commission is working as per the Delimitation Commission Act and will submit the report within the time frame. External Affairs Minister S. Jaishankar holds talks with his Russian counterpart Sergei Lavrov in Moscow today, says both nations believe in multipolar order. Lavrov says situation in Afghanistan is concerning. India and Russia are committed to independent, sovereign and democratic Afghanistan. Prime Minister Modi reviews preparations for facilitation of India's contingent at Tokyo 2020, discusses logistical details, vaccination status, multidisciplinary support being given. PM will also interact with Olympics-bound athletes on 13th of July. Prime Minister Narendra Modi today reviewed the progress of oxygen augmentation and availability across the country. Principal Secretary to PM, Cabinet Secretary, Health Secretary, MOHUA and other important officials were present in the meeting. Officials briefed the Prime Minister about the progress on installation of PSA oxygen plants across the country. More than 1,500 PSA oxygen plants are coming up across the nation, which includes contribution from PM CARES as well as various ministries and PSUs. PSA oxygen plants contributed by PM CARES are coming up in all states and districts of the country. Prime Minister was informed that once all PSA oxygen plants coming up through PM CARES would be functional, they would support more than 4 lakh oxygenated beds. PM instructed the officials to ensure that these plants are made functional at the earliest and to work closely with the state governments for the same. Officers apprised the Prime Minister that they are in regular touch with officers from state governments regarding fast-tracking the oxygen plants. PM asked officials to ensure there is adequate training of hospital staff on operation and maintenance of oxygen plants. He also directed officials to ensure that each district has trained personnel available. Officials informed him that there is a training module prepared by experts and they are targeting training of around 8,000 people across the country. Prime Minister also said that we should deploy advanced technology like IoT to track performance and functioning of these oxygen plants at a local and national level. Officials apprised the Prime Minister about a pilot being done using IoT for monitoring the performance of the oxygen plants. Daily new cases in the country continue to show a decline. However, the Health Ministry continued people against letting guards down in fight against COVID-19. States like Maharashtra and Kerala are still reporting high number of cases and there has been a slight surge in number of fresh cases. The Health Ministry said that there are many districts in the country where positivity rate is more than 10%.
सारी states जैसे कि अरुणाचल, मणिपुर, मेघालय, असम, सिक्किम, त्रिपुरा, मिजोरम एंड नागालैंड हैं। और साथ ही और दूसरी स्टेट्स को अगर हम देखें तो पाते हैं राजस्थान में इसी तरह 10 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं, साथ ही केरला में 8 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं, उड़ीसा में 2 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं, महाराष्ट्र में 2 डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स हैं और कुछ अन्य स्टेट है जहां पर एक एक डिस्ट्रिक्ट में 10% से अधिक केस पॉजिटिविटी नोट की जा रही है। जरूरी है कि हम एफर्ट्स करें कि यहां पर इन्फेक्शन के स्प्रेड को रोका जाए, लोकलाइज क्लस्टर्स को आइडेंटिफाई किया जाए और कंटेनमेंट का कार्य सुचारू रूप से इन प्रांतों में किया जाए।
India's cumulative COVID-19 vaccination coverage exceeded 36.89 crore cumulatively. More than 11.18 crore vaccine doses were administered in the age group of 18 to 45 years.
देश ने 36 करोड़ का आंकड़ा भी इन टर्म्स ऑफ डोजेज बीइंग गिवन टू पीपल कंप्लीट किया है। 36.9 करोड़ टोटल डोजेज देश में दी जा चुकी हैं, जिसमें हेल्थ केयर वर्कर्स को टोटल डोजेज हम देखें तो 1.76 करोड़, फ्रंटलाइन वर्कर्स को 2.74 करोड़, पीपल एजेड अबव 45 इयर्स जो एक हमारा प्रायोरिटी एज ग्रुप है उसको 21.21 करोड़ और 18 से 44 वर्ष के लोगों को 11.19 करोड़ डोजेज दी जा चुकी हैं।
Dr. V.K. Paul, Niti Aayog member, said that scientific data favors administering vaccines to pregnant women. He said that guidelines in this regard have been issued.
Guidelines for administering vaccine to pregnant women have been issued. These guidelines have been concluded after deep discussions, evaluation of scientific data, and the scientific data is now totally in favor of pregnant women receiving vaccine. The 3 vaccines that we have are entitled to be used in pregnant women.
India's COVID-19 vaccination numbers have been picking up pace in Jammu and Kashmir, has stood out as one of the leading regions. Our correspondent finds out how this was made possible.
Jammu and Kashmir has been one of the better performing states in India in terms of high vaccination rates of the 45+ age group, with around 83% already being administered the first dose. Around 13.5% of the 18 to 44 age group too has been vaccinated. So much so that the J&K model is now being widely discussed.
Our basic philosophy was to involve people as much as possible. We used religious influencers, social influencers in mobilizing the people. The doctors, they went on Doordarshan and other TV channels and they spoke about vaccination. And we also organized near to home vaccination. That means we were able to set up vaccination centers in the mohallas, in the community centers, in the villages, in the high altitude areas. Our people went on foot from place to place.
Despite many challenges, the administration has been able to successfully create public health awareness about the need for vaccination.
The unique challenges in Jammu and Kashmir, as you are very well aware, are the topography of the region. The topography is very hard, very rugged topography, hilly areas, mountainous areas, rivers and glaciers, and people are very much, the population is very much scattered. So to reach such a population is always a challenge for any healthcare program, including vaccination.
Due to an onslaught of rumors and fake news, vaccine hesitancy has been a major hindrance across the world and in India. This has been effectively tackled by the medical fraternity and community health workers in Jammu and Kashmir.
All credit goes to our health workers, field workers who are working in field. They are working tirelessly since when the COVID has started. They have been motivating people. They are going house to house, motivating them, counseling them, telling them about the benefits of vaccination.
ठीक है, यहाँ पे ज़्यादा खतरा है, इन्फेक्शन ज़्यादा है, आप लोग भी काम करते हो, बाहर जाते हो, इसमें कोई खतरा नहीं है, बिल्कुल भी खतरा नहीं है, किसी को हल्का बुखार आ सकता है, लेकिन इतना भी नहीं, हम आपको दवाई भी देंगे, टीका लगाएंगे, हम आप लोगों के लिए आए बूस्टर हॉस्पिटल से, इसमें कोई डरने वाली कोई बात नहीं है।
The confusion on part of a common man is but natural. And then there is a problem. Big problem is that the social media, where everybody becomes a doctor. If I say that there is a pandemic, then I will say there is an info pandemic also. The medical fraternity has a duty and responsibility, and the media, print and electronic media, has a responsibility to carry these success stories, and we should be able to convince a common man.
Special camps were organized for transgender community and mobile camps were set up in far-flung areas to expand coverage.
The Jammu and Kashmir administration is confident of achieving the 100% vaccination target for the 45+ age group in a week's time. This has been made possible by the coordinated efforts of the Corona warriors, the administration itself, and thanks to the enthusiastic involvement of the people. A replication of such coordinated efforts raises hopes for a COVID-free India. With inputs from video journalist Tariq, this is Anjana Unnikrishnan from DD News Srinagar.
Minister for Education Dharmendra Pradhan on Friday took charge of office today. While interacting with the officials, he said that the government under the leadership of Prime Minister Narendra Modi will continue to set new benchmarks in integrating education with employment and making it more inclusive.
हम व्यवस्था सभी को साथ में लेते हुए सबके विकास के लिए चलाएंगे। हम सबकी विश्वास जीतना चाहते हैं, इसलिए हमारी सरकार की प्रधानमंत्री जी की जो एक कल्याणकारी समाज की व्यवस्था है, जिसमें शिक्षा एक महत्वपूर्ण इंस्ट्रूमेंट है, सबके साथ सबकी विकास सबकी विश्वास, उसी में से 2014 से जो काम शुरू हुई उसकी एक कॉन्क्रीट शेप पिछले साल 2020 जुलाई 29 को एनईपी के नाम पे आपके सामने आया, जिसको आपने अध्ययन भी किया है, प्रशंसा भी किया है, सुझाव भी दिया है।
Jyotiraditya Madhav Rao Scindia took charge as Civil Aviation Minister today. Former Civil Aviation Minister Hardeep Singh Puri was present on the occasion. Union Minister Mansukh Mandavia today took charge as the Minister of Chemicals and Fertilizers. After taking charge, the Union Minister said that he will try to live up to Prime Minister Modi's vision for farmers' income, in which fertilizers have a greater role.
प्रधानमंत्री जी ने फार्मर्स के लिए जो विजन रखा है और किसान की आय डबल हो, 2 गुनी हो, उसमें फर्टिलाइजर का एक महत्वपूर्ण रोल होता है और प्रधानमंत्री जी की आकांक्षाओं को पूरी करने का मैं हर संभव कोशिश करूंगा।
The Delimitation Commission is on a 4-day visit to Jammu and Kashmir. The commission, led by Justice Ranjana Prakash Desai, met all the representatives of political parties in Srinagar, Pahalgam, Kishtwar and in Jammu. The commission addressed the press conference in Jammu. Chief Election Commissioner Sunil Chandra said that the commission met over 290 groups and individuals, registered parties, NGOs and certain organizations. He said first time the people were given the opportunity to put their viewpoint before the commission. He said that some groups who met the commission demanded reservation of seats for them. The Chief Election Commissioner also held that, taking into consideration the views and demands of the people and parties who met the commission, a draft will be prepared which will then be put into public domain to take views of the people, and after that the final draft will be prepared.
The commission met more than 290 groups of the people, including recognized political parties, registered parties, local bodies, civil society, and these groups of 290 groups were consisting of something around more than 800 persons. We also had meeting in Kishtwar and we had meeting in Jammu. And in Srinagar and Jammu, both the places the commission had meetings up to 10:30 p.m. because of overwhelming response from various organizations. After hearing all these persons and after hearing the associate members also, a draft will be prepared, it will be put in the public domain for their comments, for their concerns on that particular thing, and only after seeing all that the comments, all on that particular draft, the final draft will be prepared.
Defence Minister Rajnath Singh held a telephonic conversation with Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defence of Israel, Lieutenant General Benjamin Gantz, today. Rajnath Singh congratulated Lieutenant General Benjamin on ensuring the charge of Deputy Prime Minister and Minister of Defence of Israel. The Defence Minister said he looks forward to working closely with Israel to deepen defence cooperation and advance the strategic partnership. He also thanked Lieutenant General Benjamin Gantz for the assistance provided to India by Israel for handling the COVID-19 pandemic. The External Affairs Minister Dr. S. Jaishankar, who is on a 3-day official visit to Russia, said that the situation in Afghanistan occupied a lot of our attention because it has a direct implication for regional security. Addressing a joint press conference with Russian Foreign Minister in Moscow, Jaishankar said that we believe that the immediate need of the day is really a reduction in violence. He added that if we have to seek peace within the Afghanistan and around, it's important for India and Russia to work together to ensure that much of the progress in economic, social terms are maintained.
The situation in Afghanistan occupied a lot of our attention because it has a direct implication for regional security. We believe that the immediate need of the day is really a reduction in violence. And if we have to see peace within Afghanistan and around Afghanistan, that's important for India and Russia to work together to ensure that much of the progress that we have seen in economic and social and democratic terms are maintained. We are both committed to an independent, sovereign, united and democratic Afghanistan.
Dr. S. Jaishankar expressed concerns over rising incidents of violence in Afghanistan. He said that violence can not be the solution for situation in Afghanistan.
We are concerned at the direction of events in Afghanistan. In many cases when there is a volatility in a society, we leave the people of that country to work it out. But Afghanistan is a very different case. And the reason is because it has proven implications for regional security and regional stability. So the point right now we stress is that we must see a reduction in violence. Violence cannot be the solution for the situation in Afghanistan. And at the end of the day, who governs Afghanistan has a legitimacy aspect to it.
Russian Foreign Minister Sergei Lavrov also expressed concerns over situation in Afghanistan. Lavrov called for political process which was supported by the people of Afghanistan. He added that Russia will discuss Afghanistan next week in Dushanbe, where the ministerial meetings of SCO will take place.
I believe that the situation in Afghanistan is of great concern to us from the viewpoint that this situation might spill over the borders to the countries, our allied countries. The Taliban has now taken the cross-border points on the border with Iran, on the border with Tajikistan. As far as those events take place in Afghanistan, we are not going to undertake any measures except for urging for a political process to go forward, which was supported by the people of Afghanistan. We will discuss Afghanistan next week in Dushanbe, where the ministerial meeting of SCO will take place. We talked about it today, and the contact group SCO Afghanistan meeting will take place. We will hear what our Afghani friends have to say and what are their plans to promote the political process in the country.
Prime Minister reviewed preparations for facilitation of India's contingent at Tokyo 2020. The Prime Minister discussed the logistical details, their vaccination status, the multidisciplinary support being given to them. Prime Minister will interact with the Olympic-bound athletes on the 13th of July to wish them luck. And that's all in this bulletin. See you on the other side as news continues here on DD India. Please stay safe, maintain all COVID-19 protocols, and most importantly, vaccinate yourself. Namaskar.